Alright, attempt 2. So this is my, gonna be my G1 carrier attempt. I'm just gonna say this is my first time ever doing it. I've only faced one game against a G1 carrier, which y'all probably may have saw my recording on. It wasn't executed really well. I do know that people have made it to the top 10 in platinum with the G1 carrier, so I know it's gonna be a strong uh, tactic. I just haven't really studied it very well, so this may not be played real well. But we'll try and talk my thoughts through as I go along, at least. So my very first thing was, okay, so we're gonna have a battleship carrier, 2 fighters, in C Zone 15. So what does UK have to attack me with? They got a destroyer, cruiser, bomber, 1, 2 fighters, which comes out to be about a 50-50 battle. Is that worth the risk for UK? Because if they send this fighter, then the carrier has to plan to come this direction, and so it can't go to 61. So he's only going to have a cruiser attacking 61, which could be trouble. Also, if I have a strong outing here, he'd only have a destroyer and 2 fighters, or really 1 fighter, because he put his Russian fighters down here. He doesn't want to let my transport live. So I don't think he'd take it. So I'm leaning towards not doing anything to the destroyer cruiser. Otherwise, my options are to take 2 fighters to the destroyer, but I would just absolutely hate to lose a German fighter to a destroyer on round 1. Or the other option is a sub and a fighter from Berlin to cruiser and land the fighter here in Morocco. But the problem is my whole goal of this is to get the Suez taken care of and units going this way as quick as possible. I don't want to move units back here to protect my fighter from the US. So I don't really want to do that either, as far as I'm looking at this. So I got a feeling I'm going to let them both live, and we're just going to see what UK does. So definitely, this is a new concept to me, but we're going to give it a go. And definitely, y'all can give me some comments down there and let me know what you would do differently, and maybe if I do this again, I will take it into heart. So I'm going 9 infantry in a carrier. I wanted to get max infantry just because anytime you buy an expensive unit with Germany, you need to get these ground units up fairly quickly still. So the good news with this experiment is he only had 4 infantry live in West Russia, which in and of itself could have fed into me doing a 3 infantry, 2 tank, and a handful of fighters to try and just directly attack West Russia. But we're not going to do that because that's not our goal today. But it does mean I am going to stack Karelia G1. Because of his not so good luck. Actually, you know what? I don't have to take all the infantry, so I can leave one here in Belo because I'm going to need all 4 of my infantry going into Ukraine there. Let's take the infantry. No, I don't want to do that either. I want to take the original infantry, I think. Already indecisive. How about that? Mainly because this transport's still going to be alive, and so he'll have a tank and a bomber. He could sit up there, and I'd rather have the 2 infantry protect fighters that I think I'm going to be landing there. So, anyways, moving along. I am going to take everything here, and the one other big thing that I'm giving up with the G1 carrier is the chance of dead zoning a UK fleet is very unlikely. So I'm not even going to bother taking the risk of a 1 sub on one of these guys. I almost thought about doing the 1 sub by itself versus a cruiser just to help, but I'd rather just be sure of killing this because these have been coming too close lately, and that would be devastating. I hate doing this. I'm going to send 1 fighter on in there. Still not the greatest odds there, but hopefully good enough. And my fighters are going to chill. We aren't attacking anything because we're going to leave our battleship here. We're just going to transport units over. Alright, I think that's it. Nice. Yeah. Been nice to have gotten 4 hits right there on the first roll. Since his destroyer's gonna live, we might as well take out subs. Good, surprise hit. So that'll leave me 3 units up there. So hopefully we can get a hit or 2 on his attackers. Let's get a 5 on this AA roll. 5. Oh, look at that. Called the shot. Nice. Alright. Alright. Feeling good. Hey! Stunk. These tanks can get yet another shot on me. Grr. Oh, come on. Thank you. Alright. I think I'm going to take the artillery down here. So, I mean, the most you could put in here is 2 destroyers and a cruiser. I'll have battleship and 2 fighters. So I would have the odds on just come back and wiping that. So if he came for there. So if he moves the U.S. troops to here, he's just going to be sacrificing at least 1 transport to do so. And because so that if the Morocco Sea Zone is dead zoned, then I believe we can come up here. He's going to be wanting to deal with that. So what do we want? I think I want to keep a little bit in. So in this case, he can clear these pretty easily and confidently. So I want my tanks in the Baltic where they can zip around and help put pressure on West Russia. So that's why I'm moving them there. I may want to move these infantry from here instead of going that way. These, though, might be better off here since I only got 3 to contest there, although we will have the carrier load, although we're looking to clean this area out. Hopefully 2 infantry and A's enough to scare off this, when he's also got to clear out these guys and this guy. I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken. But the land and sea zone 8 would, you definitely have to sacrifice a transport to do so, so. Alright, I don't think there's anything else I can do. Like I said, I wanted to leave him here because he had a tank. I didn't want him to be able to blitz in and out for free. I do want Russia to have to work for their units, and I could get away with the 7-5 up here. So, there we go. Alright, so UK, they bought 3 fighters, put them down here in India. So he cleared the transport, cleared my Sea Zone 7, has a cruiser sitting up there, no Atlantic Fleet, and that's pretty much it. So the interesting moves, he's saving these guys, pulling them back here. He did not attack Sea Zone 61. He pulled his units back to Africa rather than going this direction. So that does prevent him from having to support TJ from a blitz attack and transport. It also, interestingly enough, he's got 2 fighters, 3 fighters, 1, 2, 3. So these guys go 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So unless I take both of them, he'll have 5 fighters. But even if I take both of them, he'll still have 4 fighters and this bomber that can hit me there. So 4 fighters and a bomber versus a carrier battleship and 2 fighters. That favors him there. So we may not be able to do what I wanted to do with my carrier fleet. So with this build, this also kind of signifies this could be a KJF, which I'd be happy for the KJF. I like me a good KJF. He also left this with no extra units, so that's a very tempting target right there. And more and more, I do like doing my little Pearl Light with just 1 fighter, 1 bomber, sub cruiser. And he left these completely open, so I can send 2 fighters here. So we're going to attack such one. I need to at least kill the infantry, hopefully. But I'd love to kill the fighter as well. So my quick thoughts, originally I was looking, okay, let's go let's set up the India, Africa, double pressure using this carrier. Now I'm starting to think, we're going to get my 4 transports and be set up where we could pressure for a J3 India, but with all these fighter builds, with these 3 fighters and other fighters, even with him going down to south, it may get tight to get there, and especially if he does a KJF, then it's not really what we're going to be going for. So I'm thinking he didn't put anything in here in West Russia, which means right now Germany has odds, even if he brings everything in and stacks it. Germany still has odds, so to me that's signaling that he may be looking at retreating out of West Russia. So that may mean Germany coming in. So I want to get all my Japan fighters on the mainland and landing them in here so that they could go in to support Germany to West Russia, because that's extremely powerful, whether we're talking KJF or KGF in that regards. And because he built no transports, there's no threat on Karelia, so we could dump in there without much fear. So that's going to be my play. I'm going to be doing my usual 2 infantry, artillery, tank, and 2 transports build here, and going from there. Originally I was going to, like I said, hit Sea Zone 36 to try and do a J2 coming across, but again, he's going to have 5 fighters and a bomber that can hit Sea Zone 36. I'd have to dump real heavy in there, and that's going to give US a little bit of freedom if they decide to go KJF. So I think we're just going to play kind of neutral. Oops. This battle's the riskiest of everything I'm doing. It's not exactly there. It is just barely slightly profitable for Axis, but not huge. I like to do 1, although if Envoy goes well, I'll send all 3 up there. All I really care about is killing the carrier. If I get the carrier, I can retreat or just take whatever, and hopefully the you know, maybe we can still have the bomber and fighter still live. Send some guys in here for a nice clean kill. I always leave the tank for the second pickup, because if we do get some sort of J3 going, J2 they can come here and blitz. So we're going to leave the tank there. I don't need the battleship since we got those 2 fighters going in, so we can save the battleship so we can decide where exactly, after all the battles happen, where exactly we want to set the fleet down at. I kind of like 48 since hopefully, unless this guy doesn't die, because then he can't, none of his bomber can't reach 61. These fighters can't reach 61 as long as we take here, which we should. So I don't really need to protect it too heavily unless this fighter lives, then we need to protect from that, but otherwise everything else should be good. So I'd like to have the fleet out here just to dead zone the 44 or 45 while still able to hit the India, and he doesn't have anything in there that he could do a block. Looking for a clean kill here, and we did not get one. Really? At least we still just lost the one. Here we go. This is the, I want 2 hits right away. These fighters are much better than the fighters that were in the other battle. Not. Oh, crapola. Oh, no, not continue. Okay. And I didn't save a unit back. Ugh. That was not what I was expecting. Good gosh. Oh my graciousness. Holy smokes. I am just not having the dice lately. And now I gotta land fighters here. And he's gonna have that. Hopefully he'll take the easy one here. If I just put all my fighters there, it'll be a little more risky. Yikes. Not what we wanted. Thank you. Somebody hit something. At least that went decently enough. You know, them taking fighter first. I almost would rather him attack there. also got these Russians that could come in. Oy, I think we're going to leave them here so that they can go to either one of these, depending on what he does. If it's a KJF, then at least I can just go back and smash these guys, but I need these guys here. I could move them here, which would discourage him from attacking and preserve against the U.S. money, but then I wouldn't have much to attack back if he takes this with 4 infantry. I mean, we'll have the... You know what? Forget it. Alright, I'm in a little bit of a rush, so I'm just going to say that's it. There we go. Alright. My build's going to be 11 infantry, 2 artillery. I think we maybe have a newer player again, but so we got a 2 ocean, so hopefully I won't goof it up like I did last time. He bought a battleship carrier destroyer. He put them over here on this side, moved his other ones back over to here, moved his cruiser on up here. For a second I thought maybe he forgot about his this side of the board, because certainly we've all done something silly like that before, but he moved his cruiser up here intentionally. I'm not sure why he left the two infantry and a fighter just sitting here. I suppose he could be planning on dropping all the UK air there, which may make this not so profitable. I don't know. I haven't really run the numbers, but I would still think 8 ground, 5 air, even against his 2, and even if he sent 6 air into there. So, I mean, these guys, they didn't move, so I'm wondering if he forgot about these guys at the very least. So, Russia, meanwhile, he did abandon West Russia. He left it open where I can hit this. So, when I'm looking at this, I can bring the 7 infantry, 8 tanks to West Russia. Even if I lose 2 infantry, if I can wipe out this stack, I don't even need the J air to come help. Even if I completely fail on this stack, which hopefully we don't, because that means I'll have fighters exposed, the J fighters can come in and I'd still be able to hold even if all these guys lived. But meanwhile, I've got my 3 fighters here that may have missed. 1, 2, 3 land in Ukraine. My 2 fighter, or I got the 2 fighters land on the carrier. These guys can go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3, 4 and get to safety if need be. So point being, we got the 5 fighters, infantry, tank, and then of course the 2 units that the transport brings over. So that'll be 4 ground and 5 fighters in a battleship versus the 6 ground in an air. So the odds are that unless I sacrifice a couple fighters, I don't actually take it. But it's a profitable battle nonetheless, and I think I just gotta take it. With U.S. just kind of sitting back, they're already going to be slow. So even if I lose 1 or 2 German fighters, we can always build them back if we really want. But we're going to be okay. So the only kind of riskiest part is I'll have 2 infantry versus the 1 artillery. I thought about sparing 1 of the fighters just to make sure this is clear, or even 1 of the tanks, but I don't know. Maybe it's worth just having 1 of the tanks there. I'll play with that in my head as I'm getting ready here. So let's see, what would it be if we manage to kill these guys and we send 1 tank there and assume he gets 2 hits to be on the safe side. So we're going to have 5 infantry and 7 tanks that we would have there. And he'd have, what, 11 infantry, 2 tanks, and maybe the air lives. So he'd have maybe, say, 2 air. Maybe that fighter lives, because things don't go well. I mean, that's still good odds. So I think I'm going to actually send one of the tanks there, too, just to clear it all out. So, here we go. So, I mean, what he does have a lot of strength right here, plugging up Africa. So, the whole idea of using the carrier to get me Africa income um, may not be real good. I really do want to take the Caucasus, because if I do that, then oh, even there, yeah, he's only got 3 fighters in the bomber that could reach there. But if I take it, then the 3 fighters can't reach. So, but yeah, playing for the German income, not really going to be there. I'm going to leave him down there for this turn, I think. But I am going to borrow one of the artillery. So 10 units on 7. So, I mean, it is putting my air at risk. But he doesn't have the AA. If he put the AA in here, even, that would make this, that would just toss us over to where I wouldn't mess with it. But I think in this case, it's just too good of a potential profit to not take that attack. He'll be able to drop an Atlantic fleet for the UK this turn. But that'll be it. The big one here, this is the bigger battle. Good. Ooh. Oh. Oi. Oi. Okay. Okay, not good. Alright, we do need, hold on. I need to be careful about what fighters I kill, because we're going to have to retreat this, it looks like. And I want to kill one of the long distance ones. So the other 2, these 2 can land on the carrier now, and these 2 can go land further in, land away from these guys. Okay. Bad choice of battles, I guess. Thought I was going to have a nice shattering shot. That's going to make... Oh. Oh, maybe I just hurt myself. This could get ugly. The dice humble me again. Alright, with those horrible dice and Caucasus, I really need West Russia just to go cleanly. Big whiff. Ugh, of course they got the 2 hits I thought they'd get. We may just put them out on a big risk. I mean, hopefully the 5 fighters coming in is still good. Haven't done the math yet. Alright. Let's make this awkward at least. Two fighters. He's got. Could reach me. Let's put one. Alright. I'm not gonna hit the finalize yet. The only thing I'm gonna check real quick is to see how bad it is for the UK if I put the fighters here, or if I should just toss the carrier and battleship to the wind and land the fighters and land. So I'm gonna hit the video in the video. I think I'm gonna keep the fighters on the carrier most likely, but we'll see. Alright, time for J2. I think we're gonna get creative here. But UK bought a carrier, dropped a carrier up here. Still no transport up here, so that's interesting. He ended up taking his transport further down this way and brought 41 to 26, which this movement in itself again doesn't make a whole lot of sense in that the sense in the sake that if he had gone to 25, both of these hit 27 and 1 and 28 and 2, because I think that's what he's planning on doing, is bringing these guys on over to his Indian Ocean fleet. But if he'd gone 25, if things change his mind, he could get up, up this way quicker. Whereas, he's not going to get up that as quick if things change his mind. I hope I can change his mind here in a little bit. So, but yeah. So I mean, again, he's got a lot of strength here. I'm almost pretty much just going to concede Africa. I haven't decided. I mean, we'll cover that when I get there. I might try and hit Egypt with 3-1, 2 fighters. Problem is they'd have to land here or in 17 where they're in a dead zone. And so, maybe I land them there and bring a transport down. Or maybe I just sacrifice my transport and just send the 4-1-1 versus the 2-1-1. That's a possibility. So, not 100% sure. I mean, that might be worth it, or it might be worth bringing the transport to hit up Caucasus again if he gives me that option. I don't know. We're going to play Germany when we get to Germany, but what we do need is we do need 4 fighters here for me to be comfortable. So that's what I'm going to do. We're going to get 4 fighters. We're just going to wipe this stack out. But the other thing that's interesting here is if I stay back in 61, which was my initial thought was I'll just stay in 61 and just shuck away, let the little small American fleet do what it wants to do. But if I stay in 61, then he could put a destroyer in 36 and then drop carriers here, my kind of India drop type of thing. So I'm not sure that I want to do that. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to stack C-Zone 36 with my entire fleet. 2 battleships, 2 destroyers, 2 carriers, 1 fighter from here, 1 fighter from here. So I have 2 fighters here. And that is enough to defend against all of this, plus the 3 fighters and a bomber, if I put it there. The thing that what it does leave me worried about is this bomber can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can't take this. So, I can't just leave naked transports on 61 or 62, and I need to be shucking ground troops over. So I'm going to do something I have never done before. I'm going to leave them on 63. Which just seems absurd when my fleet's going to be down here. They're going to be up here. If this turns into a KJF, I'll be building ships and I can just bring them in here next turn and, whatever. But the Americans can't reach me. I mean, he'll probably come up this way since I'll have transports just sitting there. But the fighter can't reach me. If I drop 3 transports worth because I'm going to create 6 lands, so I'll still be able to maximally grab guys from here. So I drop 2 here, 2 units here, 4 units here, or vice versa, however I want to. Well, yeah, 2 here and 4 here. These guys can't do anything. They're going to start backing up. And yeah, it's not my ideal way of going through the north. I'd rather be packing up through the center, but I'm still going to be able to put 1 here and 2 here, pack here. So I'm still going to be coming up to the center. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm also just going to go ahead and buy an industry because it's kind of a KJ. It's a 2 ocean, but since it's probably going to morph into a KGF-ish, I think. I want to get a complex, or normally I go for transports this round, but again, if I place transports, they'll be in the kill zone unless I place them in 60, which could be an option. But if he decides to turn this into a KJF and just bring these guys around, kind of a delayed KJF, I don't really want 5, 6 transports for Japan. So I'm going to go with the complex, just in case he decides to turn it into a KJF. I'm going to go with the complex. Get me 6 units. I'm going to have 3 transports up here, my transport down here, which, either can go this way or it can come down towards Australia and start getting the income that way, depending on what he does with these guys. But I'll have the whole fleet here threatening him, so that hopefully he has to back out, because the fighter sitting here also will be threatening C-Zone 34 and 35 as well, and 32 actually. So he won't be able to keep his fleet in these 3 sea zones. So he'll either have to come back to 33 or 28, or build fleet and do a showdown, in which case I'll have to pull back and destroyer block and start building fleet. So interesting position. We're going to see. This is a unique play for me, and I'm going to have fun with this game. I don't know that the carrier is going to end up being much of a asset this game. I may end up just sacrificing it here. We're going to see. Keep forgetting to reset I don't know why my settings got changed, but they did at some point. Oh, you know what we want to do? Let's see. I think I'm going to put my 2 tanks up here. That way we can roll fast at least, or roll them back this way. Actually, I think I'll end up dropping my 2 transports with the 2 tanks here. That way the tanks can come back that way kind of quick. So what we'll do, we'll put 3 infantry up here. So we'll put the 1 infantry, and then the other one can drop off up there. And this one's going to grab, or the infantry artillery will go up there. This one's going to grab the infantry artillery, drop here. We'll drop the units safe, although he could air bomb them if he wants. So, alright. I think that's what we're going to do. I've got a cat helping me here. Now, you could say, hey, I could bring this bomber in to assist here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But I'm not bringing units in. And this is the scary part, is I'm not going to have units here, so that wouldn't go well for putting them here. And even if I dropped a bomber here with the infantry artillery coming from the Philippines, that's 3 units. He's got 4 here. He could just do that kind of a, I mean, it may not be worth it, but he's also got these guys, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, they'd have to hit me. Maybe it is worth putting the bomber there, because we're going to have enough units up here that we could kill them. So, you know what? Let's put the bomber there. That way, we at least have 2 units in the bomber to trade back, potentially here, unless he full forces in, and then we'll just scramble. That's the one thing I am worried about with taking my transports up here, is that he could just move all his UK ground and stack Burma next turn. Now, I'll be able to come back and stack Yunnan and hopefully be able to push him back, but that could turn into a pain in the butt. Alright. So I also, at least, not really committed other than the bomber to anything right now. We get the dice when we don't need them. That's life, isn't it? Life and Axis and Allies. There we go. One shot at least. Very well, there we go. That's a nice little force sitting in Sichuan. Maybe I'm being paranoid about him dropping a fleet. Maybe it's unwarranted. Probably should have done the math more. It may be worth 3 fighters and a bomber hitting that. Oh well. Really gotta reset this. I do not like the little dial thing. So, I mean, we got good strength here with these guys living, and we've got good strength here. Just a little out of place. We're weak here. That's our weakness. But, I mean, he could come in, and I'd have 2 and 2 and a bomber at least. And 2 fighters, so we got 7 units I could hit there. He could still stack it, but we'll see. We'll see what he chooses. Ooh. There's my defense profile. Let's just get back to my standard. I don't think we got any subs left in this game, so it doesn't really matter about the sub part. Double checking one last time. It doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That might be a little bit risky giving him 4 and 3. Maybe I should have put the extras there. Oh well. There we go. Alright, here we come for G3. Let's look back at the US. Bought carrier, fighter, transport, tank, and infantry. So they put tank, infantry, and transport over here. They put the carrier and the fighter over with the other fighter over here. They are going this kind of 2-ocean bit. Coming down to the Solomon Islands. It's going to be curious to see what they decide to do here with these guys. The obvious answer would be to sneak them through the Med if I leave it open. If I don't leave it open, they can either come up to India, maybe make a big purchase and try and do a face-off, or they'll need to retreat back and meet up with these guys. But we'll worry about that on Japan's turn. I mean, we got to kind of worry about Japan because of what I'm planning on doing here. So the key being, if they pay close enough attention, they'll be able to catch me on this. But I've got what, 4, 6, 7, 8 that can attack through here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He builds a carrier, 6, 7, 8. A couple destroyers, 9, 10. Or another carrier fighter. So he could potentially put too much there for me to attack because I'm going to go ahead and try and stack Caucasus, Karelia, and Italy all on this turn with Germany. When you get a Karelia Caucasus double stack with Germany, that's pretty powerful. So that's the planned play right now, planned move right now. So let's hope for a little bit of luck. But to pull this off, I am gonna to be comfortable. I'd want 4 fighters of Japan and Caucasus next turn, which means although I could have 2 attack from here, and these 2 go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could still have 4 of my fighters attack in here. I can't have all 6 fighters attack in here. I'm going to have to commit 2 to just hanging tight. So, the other thing I want to go ahead and do, I'm going to call it a soft dead zone of 15, because obviously he's threatening coming into the Mediterranean here. I'm going to do that by buying a bomber. I kind of like it anyways. I like having bombers in KJF or KGF, especially in KJF. We got the dual ocean here, so what the heck. The bomber buy, as long as I have these 4 fighters and the battleship carrier in range, actually creates a dead zone where it's like, I don't know, a 70% chance or something that I could wipe these guys out. The carrier is quickly losing its benefit here simply because I can't come to 17 because he's got at least 4, well, really 5 fighters and a bomber dead zoning it. I can't really come out this way because he's got these guys in the bomber there, dead zoning there. So really 16 is my only safe spot. So after this turn, I got a feeling I'm going to be sacrificing the battleship carrier after this turn, in round 4. So might as well threaten it. And if he goes, I'll probably take it. Maybe, possibly, I don't really know. Kind of depends. It's one of those ones that you a lot of times you don't like risking the fighters, but it may be worth at least 1 round shot where the first 3 defensive hits would go to the battleship and the carrier. So, and then we're just going to build as mid ground as we can, as much infantry as we can from there. We're going to take a shot at this. We're going to do everything we can to just decrease the number of Russian units. Since he left these 4 infantry there, they're going to get wiped out. I mean, we're really going to be shrinking and then, Japan's going to be taking a bit of the territory up in here fairly quickly. You know what? I'm going to say I learned my lesson a little bit. I got nothing better for my fighters to do. We should get 2 hits out of that. Just see how that goes without, only committing 3 ground into it, but should be able to get the hit since I have nothing better for my fighters to do. Might as well do that. That way, if something goes horribly wrong with the dice, I can always change. I'm also going to go ahead and take this. This is I believe, 4. He's got 3 units here, right? Oh no, he's got 4 units there. Well, may not be the best odds. Let's see. I'm pulling up the calculator. It's pretty close. I don't know that I'm gonna have much better for my guys to do. Let's see, 2 infantry, 1 artillery, 1 tank. What's it giving? Actually, it's giving me a 72% chance to conquer that. Um, oh, nope, I forgot the tank. Like, something does not sound right about that. I apologize. That is not the case. It's giving me a 27% chance to conquer that. So is it really worth it? Even trying? Or should I just kind of spread out and make the most of it? You know what? We're just going to concede Africa. Let's instead grab those guys. Bring us another tank up here. Buy him. So we got 2 infantry tank. Got the 4 and 1. All that's good. I thought about I could have taken these fighters up here and landed them up here, but I'm gonna use the 2 fighters, 1, 2, 3, 4, to help stack, excuse me, Italy from the Americans. So we're just gonna we'll take a round or two of this shot and see what it looks like. That's my least likely one. Although it's not unlikely, it's like a 60% chance. Just 1 hit. And phew! Good thing I brought all 4 of those fighters. Alright, but I am glad to take it cleanly. There we go. Is it really worth it? I mean, we're talking about 1 less infantry, right? Is it better not just to save the for the 1 unit, 1 infantry, 1 IPC? I think I'm just gonna save my artillery actually. Let's just pull him back. Although I do need to check. Hold on. What would he have left to hit Archangel? So we're gonna put, let's see, 6 infantry and an AA. I mean, we should be fine. We're gonna build an infantry, so we'll have 8 infantry, the artillery. He'll have 1 infantry, 5 tanks that could blitz through there. And 2 fighters. I won't have much of a counter if things go well, because I was planning on coming this way with my units. Let's see. So 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think we're okay. Yeah, we're just gonna retreat that guy. So lost 3 infantry to his 2. How did the two that moved two to here be able to go to... Oh, no, they can't. I was going to say, how can they make it to Italy? Gonna be surprised there. We'll spread these guys out so you can't just blitz the tank through. The only question here is I'll have one infantry with the 4 fighters. He could do 5 fighters and a bomber coming at me. I think I might just sacrifice an AA in there just to help kill some of them if he decides to go after that, so that we'd have an AA, an infantry, and 4 fighters, and he's going to have potentially 5 fighters and a, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, those two can't reach me. So it'd be 5 fighters and a bomber. We're gonna do. I'm using the calculator here real quick, just gonna check one round of battle. What is it? Be worth them strafing me? It looks like 20 IPC profit for us. So I'm just gonna. I think that's gonna be safe enough. Probably gonna be a waste of the AA because he should take that with the ground of Russia. But oh yeah, everybody else. We need to move everybody else. So let's see. Do want him going forward? That'll give me 5 infantry, right, when I build. 1, 2, 5 infantry and AA. 2 fighters. Yeah, I feel good about that. Mainly want these guys going this way to help hold Caucasus, but at the same time, it's going to be my last freeway this way. Let's divvy these guys up. Oh, yeah. Give me 4, plus I can land fighters, 8, compared to whatever he'll build. Should be good. Per round, and then we'll move in 6 more infantry plus the build. So yeah, we should be able to hold strong there. All right. I do want max there. I want max up there. There we go. All right. J3. So UK3 first. They bought a destroyer, transport, infantry, and a complex, which they put down here in South Africa. The other parts went up here to create transport now in C-Zone 7. So I guess we can now officially call this a 3-ocean attack rather than a 2-ocean attack. We got the Atlantic Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and the Pacific Ocean. How this is going to play out exactly, I don't know. This is definitely going to be unique. So, you know, the interesting things about this is, one, I mean, Russia's weak, so we're just going to really go after Russia as much as we can with both, and whoever takes it, which I got a feeling is going to end up being Germany. And I've got no problem with that. Meanwhile, with him putting a factory down here, so now he brought his Australian Navy all the way around. So now he's got these guys. They're going to get potentially kind of tough here. So uh, the next, to me, move would be go to come to 29, where then they could come to DEI or to India would be my expectation. But I want to go ahead and just push the Americans out of here first and foremost. So we're going to temporarily come back here, still go ahead and start work on getting Australia and getting that income. If nothing else, we can cut UK income down some. You know, these 3 factories, it's going to be hard to be productive in all of them. So I'm building 8 infantry, 3 for the mainland, 5 for here. You know, we got our 3 transports. Are going to pick up 6 of these this time. They'll have the AA plus the 5 that they'll pull in the next turn. I'm just going to keep pulling all those units. I don't suspect Tokyo will ever get anytime soon to a threat level of being a direct attack. But, you know, I mean, he'll probably actually maybe bring these guys to 59 next time, which is then going to start to split me up. But we'll address with that when it comes to it. So, because of things, I am going to go ahead and build 2 subs because there is enough, obviously, of a threat going to be coming into the Japan axis that we do got to play this kind of like a KJF. So, we're going to go ahead and get a couple submarines in the water as well. The good news, 61 is now free. He's got no, these fighters 1, 2, 3 can't land anywhere. They won't be able to land anywhere. The bombers over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. He's not going to have anything there or anywhere else that he can land on. So transports can go naked in 61 and we'll be okay with it. I debated on this about leaving the 2 here. You know what? I think I am actually just going to go ahead and leave the guys on the islands because I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to stack the Philippines and I'm going to stack 46, but he could send his transport naked 2 versus 1, and I'll just be okay with that, and I'll be able to grab infantry from either of these to land back into there. So we're going to go ahead and use. I was going to send that artillery on up to the through China, but we're going to go ahead and do this. You know, could send them all the way up here. What we got? 4, 6, 7. No real benefit. But you know, bombing the factories here, the UK factories, it may be worth it. You know, if he wants to build out of them. But I think the Russian one, I don't want to take him all the way up that way because I want him down here to be able to defend down here. Do I want to risk the bomber is a question, I guess. Even worth risking him to even hit India. I think about it. I think I'm just going to keep him quiet. These guys are going to be landing in here. Good thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, they can land at 37. So if we decide to come there next, we can. I'm just gonna save my. I hate not using a bomber. I really hate not using a bomber. But until I get a better picture of what exactly is gonna go on with the U.S. and the U.K. over here, I just don't. I don't want to lose it. Good God. Because I should have sent that bomber up here. I keep one to block the blitzing tanks. The reason I chose to go this way is if he does decide to go for the quick grab, I can use my transport, come back, the fleet, kill him, sit in 47, and be ready to counter whatever UK might be festering up there. Just double checking they can't do the cheap three sacrifice fighter type thing anywhere there. I think we're looking good. Carrier, destroyer, battleship for the fighter. Carrier, destroyer, battleship for the fighter. Battleship, cruiser, destroyer. Fighters 1, 2, 3, 4 can't reach there. Either of those. His fighters 1, 2, 3 can't reach an AC. 1, 2, 3. The AC can't get to there either, so should be good there. There we go. See what he brings up next. Alright, Germany 4. So the quick rundown, let's go back. So US round 3, bought 2 transports, he put them over here in East USA along with his 3 infantry and an artillery, and then he put 2 subs over here and to the West USA, brought his fleet back up to 57, and then he brought his guys. My bomber build evidently was enough to encourage him not to go into the Med, and so he decided to come up here, and he took Northwest Europe, which is that's a big question mark to me. Why take Northwest Europe when you got France sitting there for free? So yeah, I'm not sure really what the thought was there, what he's hoping out of that, or if he's thinking leaving France open for UK to get, but Germany's gonna have a turn in between. And had he taken France, I would take him out in France. So not really sure what the reasoning behind that was. Um, so anyways, it does appear we're continuing this 3-ocean approach. We got the U.S., the Indian, and the South Africa approach, and then the combined Atlantic approach. Um, He did take out West Russia. He actually used a fighter to take out that the AA that was in there. Wouldn't have risked a fighter myself, but he got away with it. He did not lose his fighter, so he's all good. So here we go, Germany turn. My objectives this round: keep Caucasus stacked, keep Karelia stacked, obviously keep Berlin stacked, wipe out here relatively efficiently by using air, um, take West Russia back, and then we're gonna use the. I think we're gonna go ahead and use the Med fleet here. Since he backed off, we can use this carrier in the Med a little bit. So idea being here, when each turn when I look at this, I look and go, okay, C zone 16. Am I safe for this dead zone? Well, U.S. can't get to me. These planes, 1, 2, 3, they have nowhere to land and not going to be able to get to me. Only the bomber could reach, so I'm safe in 16. 17, these 5 fighters and this bomber are all going to hit me, so I'd have 6 hitting my 4. So 17 is pretty much dead zone. 15, the U.S. could have 2 fighters and a bomber reach there. The UK only has a bomber. These guys, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're landing there, landing nowhere. These guys up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, landing, no carrier to land on. So they only have a bomber. So C zone 15 is open to me. 14, oops, 14, again, this entire U.S. fleet could come in and hit, so that would be dead zone. So now I have 15 and 16 this turn that are options for me. So option 1, I can just ferry 2 units straight up the Caucasus, for speed of building up here. Option 2 is we crush Libya, and I think that's where I'm going to go to. I've got this infantry plus 2 that I can pick off of Italy, so I have 3 infantry, and I use 2 fighters in the battleship to hit Libya at good odds. Hopefully I take it. That'd be great if I took it. Even if I don't, that leaves him with these guys here sitting 2 units left, sitting here trying to figure out what to do. I mean, again, we're not really going to contest Africa so much, but it would be nice just to get these units out and then also next turn be able to fight for Egypt and, just see where it goes there. The smarter play probably is actually bringing 2 units quicker to Caucasus, and even if I sat in C zone 16, I could even send these fighters off and not even have to protect the battleship carrier, because the worst he's got is 2 fighters that can reach me. So, I mean, that's probably the smarter play. I don't know. But I also can have my 4 fighters landing in Italy and C zone 15, and my bomber down here, and a transport with a couple guys here ready to hit anything in these areas. So plus, who knows, maybe we get 2 units survive here, so you can't really blitz and kill them, or I don't know. We'll see. I just want to actually use the carrier, so I think we're gonna hit Libya. I just feel like I should have this game overall. Again, here I go getting overconfident, which I should have learned from last game, because dice can humble us all. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna go. So purchase. I am still just for myself, just gonna. He does have Karelia bombed out, by the way. So we're not gonna be. I'm not gonna bother building that. I mean, I've got 17 spots that I can still build in without building Karelia, and I got enough units to stack Karelia, so I'm not going to worry about that. But I'm just going to go ahead and buy 14 infantry and an artillery. 15 ground units, not a bad haul for Germany. We're also going to be able to hold Caucasus without the Japan fighters, so I'm going to be able to send them out of there this turn, unless he does something like blitz his tanks and hit with air or something like that. Then I guess technically he could, but whoops. Okay, this is going to continue to bug me. Whoops, not defense profile. Do like having that on. There, no more dial. I don't like the dial. So, so in any case, I do need 13 infantry here, so I'm going to be able to move this guy over, build 4, move this one over. That gives me 13 and 9, and that gives me safety here, holding without the fighters. If he does something crazy like attack here for some reason, I can keep the fighters here because I don't absolutely need them to help the Japan fleet, but I would like to free them up to come back over here to the Indo-Pacific area. I'm going to just not going to bother the Archangel again, even though it does leave him a 1-6 because he did build another tank too that could attack there. I just don't think it's going to be worth it right now. I'm going to use 4 ground to match his 4 ground and bring in 3 air on top of it. One. Yay! Use that battleship, use that carrier. Grab some free income. And I believe that's all I'm going to do this turn. Yeah, I don't know, I'd say unlikely. It's still in my favor. It's not a super high. You know what? I wonder. I think, let's see, if we used one more. We could continue to trade him. He'd have 7 units, 9 units, plus he'd have his 2, 4, 11, 12. That might be a little bit thinner than I just really want to risk, because I could see him thinking a 1-2 shot on Corellia might be worth it. It really wouldn't be. And I really don't want to give him a chance to blitz through. You know what? I'm just going to throw one more in there. There we go. Let's see it say strong. I'm okay trading heavy with Russia right now. Alright. I'd really love to take this with a unit left over. Really love to take it with 2 units left over, to be honest. Ah, that's not a good way to start it, though. Boom. Boom. Alright. Of course the battleship and 2 fighters miss. And of course... What a waste. What a waste. Oh my goodness. It's not critical. I just hate having a waste, and that's such a horrible result. You know, I mean, I had what, 6, 10, power of 13, so I should have had 2 hits, would be the expected, and he had 7. 1 hit would be expected. I got 1 less hit. He got 2 more hits. Oy. So frustrating. All right. Over to West Russia. Oh, you're going to be make me glad I threw that extra guy in there. Yep. There we go. Yep. Glad I threw that extra guy in there. You know, I mean, it doesn't seem like that big of a result. I mean, those in a close game, results like that, you know, just those eat at you when you get two results. Overall, not a huge deal in the face of this game right now, but man, that just stinks. Thank you. One shot clear. Of course, the battle I didn't really want to win heavily because these are just dead zoned. Alright, well, yay. Yay. Ay, caramba. I think the Libya thing's the worst of it all. This is just such a waste of 3 units. Keep them moving to the front. So, I'm going to end the video for this turn here. I do want to do one calculation on what I do with these 6 guys. So what I'm going to do a real quick calculation is, what's Russia going to have next turn? How many do I need to have in Ukraine to come to Caucasus to continue to hold Caucasus on G5's turn? With me being able to build here and take as few there as I need to and as many to Belarus as I can to help support Karelia next turn if need be. You know, I'm still going to have the fighters that can float around and whatnot as well. But by having the 4 fighters here, so the 2 fighters here could go 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. The 2 fighters here could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Or they could go 1, 2, 3, 4 with another carrier build. I don't know. Regardless, we can put. That's really counting within that. Two infantry, 4 fighters, a bomber, and a battleship can hit these zones. So it'll make them have to think about his placements, hopefully, at least a little bit. So, all right. Well, that's going to be it. Like I said, you just can keep an eye out where these 6 guys go. It's just going to be me divvying them up them between Ukraine and Belo with enough to support Caucasus and G5. All right. So, recap of UK4. We got a new battleship in the water, 2 artilleries and an infantry. So he chose to put a battleship down here in South Africa. And then I didn't pay attention where he put his 2 artilleries and infantry. I just realized he doesn't have an infantry over here for his transport. So next time all he has is a tank or an artillery for his transport over here. That's in this mess. He did go ahead and take France, which makes sense. Get the IPC. Even if he brings the Americans and lands their planes, obviously I still got plenty to take care of him in that regards. He brought his other fleet up here to 34 and left his fighters, continues to leave his fighters here in India, which I'm not sure I completely understand. I haven't really done the math. I don't really plan on attacking India. I mean, maybe since I do have this transport here, I do got 4 transports. That's what, 8? And I've got the 6, 7 planes, so 15. He's got 15. Maybe he needs the fighters there. I honestly haven't really calculated it because I don't plan on just sacrificing my fleet to attack India. But by having them here, that's 1, 2, 3. They still can't dead zone 16. So you know transport carrier battleship will get to live again, and yeah, if nothing else, grab some units and bring them on up to Caucasus a little faster and help the stacking of the Eastern Front here. So I'm going to play greedy on the land, and my intention is that I'm only going to buy one boat still. I'm going to still buy some more land, and getting land onto the mainland, because I feel like I can defend both the American fleet and the UK fleet still for right now. They're so far apart. The big threat is when the two fleets merge, but he's so far apart, and he's not really showing signs for trying to get them to merge. I'm not too worried. Instead, he's just building a boat, maybe two boats, maybe a couple boats here eventually. But I think we can defend this. So I'm going to continue to defend both in a split navy. So let's see. Combats, of course, he went through Libya. He took Persia, which was open. It was just I only blitzed it. Took Burma with no loss, and then took France. Whoops. Sorry about that. All right, so purchases. I'm looking at getting 7 men. I'm going to keep using this factory to its max. I can put 3 there. I'm going to put 4 men down on the mainland. I am going to buy a destroyer and a carrier. I'm going to put the carrier, a destroyer, and a fighter up in 62 to distract from any attacking this way of the 2 fighters coming in. I'm going to put the destroyer I build in C-Zone 60 just to take away any of the bombardments for attacking Tokyo, because he has to kill the destroyer. He can't bombard. And if he wants to trade it, the only thing he has is a destroyer, so he can kill my destroyer with a destroyer and his fighters, and that's going to be fine. I'm going to have my subs hanging around close enough that they could come back in. I could do a sub fighter to kill his destroyer, and he's only got subs, no more destroyers backing up to kill the sub. So, worst case scenario for me, it's an even Steven trade. Best case, maybe my destroyer gets a hit on his destroyer and they all miss. I don't know. Most likely it's an even Steven trade in all reality. But we're going to do all that, and we're going to be at the same time looking to dead zone 58, 59 from the U.S. As well as 63 would be in that category, the same range, if you will. So I hope to have those done and dead zoned. And also, we're going to come down here. We're going to stack C-Zone 36. That's the plan. And within that, hoping to dead zone 34 and 35, even if he brought his battleship in. Unless he plays a destroyer blocker, which is a real possibility. So, that could be the case. But if nothing else, we're going to keep putting pressure back on him. So, carrier destroyer, 7 men. I'm going to be transporting as me and my men over to the island. I'm going to leave my AA gun. I'm going to land a fighter in here as well. So we're going to have four infantry, an AA gun, and a fighter. He can land 2 infantry, 2 fighters to try to attack. It gives him like a 2% chance, I think it was, or something like that. Of course, that's something I used the calculator on because I wanted to make sure. Yeah, it's a 2% chance that he could take Tokyo with that. So I'm okay with that. So we're going to finish up our Australia. We're going to borrow the other guy. We're going to leave the 2 in DEI because that's where if the British are going to attack, it's going to be there. So, maybe make that a little awkward. We don't need these fighters up here. So we're going to bring them on down to 36 and they can kill that guy while they're on the way. 2, 3, 4. Yep, that fighter can go 62. This fighter can go into Tokyo. Those look good. So up here, we want to take the land. Thought about using an infantry in the bomber, but I want to make sure I keep the bomber down here in range of both dead zoning here and dead zoning here. So we're going to keep the the bomber relatively local. Yeah, I think we'll be able to keep him right here, and we can do all the dead zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can dead zone the whole area here. Because he's important for dead zoning too. I'm not going to bomb. I'm not going to take the risk. That's it. I thought about just trying to do 1 infantry, but because he has those tanks in India, if his infantry hit back, he'd be able to blitz down to Tai and into Yunnan based on my play. So I decided to go ahead and send the 2, even though it turns out I did not need to. So we're going to have our 2 fighters. We got a battleship. We're going to have a destroyer here. We're going to have a sub here. We're going to have a sub, a destroyer. Get that other battleship down there too. This fighter is going to land here. This fighter is going to land here. I thought about leaving them here just so that he had pressure, but I mean these transports are going to have enough units infantry they can pick up, just not the artillery. I'm just going to keep pushing Japan into towards Moscow here as well. So let's just do our double check. We should have 2 battles. We should have a sub, a destroyer, 2 loaded carriers, and 2 battleships. So we got 1 and 2's already there. Okay. Up here, we're going to build a carrier, and we should have a destroyer going in here as a sub going in here. My transports and a fighter. Looks good. Even with it, I think I want to go ahead and I've got odds. I'm going to go ahead and keep fighter before carrier. That still gives us 80% odds to survive there if he was to send the 2 fighters by themselves. And these guys still have a good odds down here. The destroyer to make him not be able to bombard. My carrier for them. 3 land, 4. So now with the 3 carriers and the 6 fighters, I got a lot of flexibility that the 6 fighters can cover a lot of ground. The bomber can cover 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He can come up to here. He can also do the 1, 2, 3, 4, or excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 landing in here to cover those zones. So we got good coverage by our air. These 2 fleets are within range that they can merge later if I need them to, or I can shuffle them around as I need. So there we go. All right. So US4, we got another battleship on the board, destroyer, 3 infantry artillery. He's putting the battleship destroyer over here in the West USA. So we're going to start getting real here with Japan. So I think we may be done with our ground units. We're going to start just buying some subs next time. We're gonna go heavy subs, I think, probably. We gotta see what UK still does. I'm gonna actually kind of bait the UK. I'm gonna see if they bite for it to come into the Med to try and finish things off and take Italy. I'm gonna actually offer him up Italy. Main reason being, if he does do that, then oh shoot, I forgot. I remembered. I meant to put some guys here in Thailand for this transport. So if he kills these guys, then my plan won't work because I was going to just send a Japan transport, but maybe we'll have a unit or two where we could... Oh, no, we can't get there. Anyways. So maybe my bait plan won't work so well, but I'm still going to do what I'm going to do because I'm going all in, looking at a G6 timing on Moscow. I can't believe I forgot. I wanted two of these guys to be right here. That's what my plan was lacking. Anyways, so he did move up to Alaska. Not too worried about this. Again, he's only got the one transport. He's got no destroyers in here, so I can build all the subs I want, and he can't touch me if I pull out. So we're looking at all the combinations that we can do here with Germany. Again, the best he can do is 1, 2, 3, 4 landing on a carrier. So 2 fighters and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. His bomber can get in there as well. Well, actually, you know what? Now that I look at it, as long as I take Persia, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess yeah, his bomber's got to be able to get in there. So the bomber can get there. So you can get 2 fighters and a bomber in there. But that means I only need 1 plane on the boat, on the carrier, and I think I'll be safe. So I'm gonna land one of the planes elsewise. So like I said, I'm gonna go for G6 timing. So my purchase, I am going to buy 1 bomber just to help out. Otherwise, I'm buying 6 infantry, 4 artillery to go down here in Caucasus, 6 infantry for Germany. Again, all he's going to have that can attack me is a tank, 2 fighters, and his cruiser in there. So we should be okay there. So I want 2 infantry with my 2 fighters landing here, and that'll be enough to make me comfortable, even if he attacked with the tank and 2 fighters. And we're going to be moving my tanks in there, so we're just going to kill that guy outright. Let's see, got 11, that'll be 12. Can do. So we don't have to just rely. So this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Take 1 less guy from up there. The Karelia guy, 1 less guy from there. I'm wait for this guy to go because I do want him to land up back on the carrier. Those guys will land there. This guy will land there. This means I don't have to rely on Japan to kill him necessarily. glad we took the 3 instead of the 2. I had thought about sending a stack of infantry into France and saving the fighters, but I'm going to continue to send my infantry east after seeing dice and just have another wave ready to back up hitting Moscow. So this is actually a semi-important one, so good thing we hit there. I didn't want to sweat that one out because he could have done a, potentially do a, tank blitz with fighters and strafe and kill some units there. So I'll be happy even though it's wasting some German men there. I think we'll still have enough for Germany 6, Japan 5 or 6, possibly. We'll see how it all pans out, but so let's see, what did we want in? I did do calculators ahead of time this time. We wanted 13 infantry and AA, 9 tanks as a minimum. That's what we got there right now. These guys we wanted up here. So this is going to give me 12 infantry, 5 AA, or 5 artillery after I build. Which will be more than enough, so I'm actually going to move that guy into that one, I think. And there. Those guys on in. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What's a good unit? I'm thinking about maybe sending some of them to the Baltic just to reinforce Karelia after everything attacks Moscow. So let's see, that would be a he could attack me. It would be with, can the bomber reach the Baltic? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. So it's just the 2 fighter cruiser and the 1 unit transport. So if we put 4 there, are we good with 4? Yeah, we're good with 4. So let's go. Actually, we'll do it like that. And just to double check, I've got 6 infantry, an AA, and a bomber in Berlin, and he attacked with 2 fighters, a cruiser, and a tank. 2 fighters, a cruiser, and a tank. His chances of taking are 1%, so alright, I'm happy with that. Perhaps it's a mistake leaving Italy empty, because that's 2 turns in a row that I'm just now basically going to take the transport out of the game. But, oh, you know what? I should have moved 2 of them here. Anybody else? Oh well. So it would have been smarter if I would put 2 down here, then the transport could have used to help speed them up 1 turn. Because the next turn, instead of going to Ukraine, they go straight to the Caucasus. But, oh well. I goofed. Whatever. We'll see if he goes ahead and takes Italy. I know I would. If I was him, I probably would, but he may be wanting to eye DEI because if he kills these guys and these guys, because I forgot my units here, I can't take DEI back next turn. So I think he could be eyeing, 2 fighters, infantry, and a tank, and 2 cruisers hitting DEI. But we'll see. That'll be it. All right. UK's round. They bought a destroyer, sub, 2 tanks, artillery, transport. Again, you can kind of tell there's just some logistical concerns here. So he ended up moving his fleet back here, which is that's just a win for me. I think he might have, what did he do? Drop a zone 20. He did the destroyer sub down here. Yep. So destroyer sub down there. But the big things that come in, he didn't send his fighters to Moscow, so Moscow's pretty much a guarantee for me for Germany's turn. Or he's bailing, that's a possibility. He'd have to bail to, yeah, I guess he could bail just about anywhere, but so either he's bailing on Moscow or he's just conceding it, because I should have overwhelming forces to take them out without the UK fighters going. This is one of those things. He dropped the second transport here, but the only ground unit he has is a tank and an AA. So he's got 2 transports that could do 1 of each. Not really sure what that's going to benefit him at this point. So on his positive side, he did drive his 2 men here. I've got nothing here to take it back, and he's got these 4 tanks. He dropped some tanks here. So as it stands right now, Yunnan, he's got 2 infantry, 4 tanks, 5 fighters, and a bomber he could send into Yunnan. So we're going to do our best to try and take these 2 guys out. So although I was going to come back and just consolidate everything here and just push America back, I'm actually just going to pull out, defend my territories. And he's only got, again, 1 transport with 2 infantry, 2 fighters, battleship cruiser. So we're going to pull out. I'm going to hit this destroyer with a sub and some fighters. Put the sub on submerge. He's got no destroyers that can reach it, so it'll survive. I'm going to build a bunch of subs, put them in here. The rest of the fleet, we're going to come down to 61 and 36 and keep these 2 stacked where we can go to India, or they can come up here to the Japan waters if he decides to try and dump in here at all. So we got options, and we're going to hopefully keep him limited. So, whoops. So the plan is 5 infantry, 5 subs, and we're saving an IPC there. I do want to make sure I have 6 infantry and AA. That'll give me still like 93% odds to hold Tokyo. And we're going to split up some infantry to hold these 2. I'll let him take, what is this, Soviet Far East? Soviet Far East, but I'm going to have units sitting here, so, his transport's going to lose its men if he does. So that's the plan. So we we're going to take a pot shot there. Oh yeah, sub. And I believe that's all we got. Go. Ugh. Are you kidding me? Sigh. Alright. I need those fighters for defending Caucasus. That's why I couldn't take a fighter. But now that means he can blitz right in through to Yunnan with 4 tanks and his 6 air. So I'm not going to be able to drop into Yunnan unless I pull all 7 of these guys and 3 guys I'm pulling. Maybe 4, 11 guys. We might be able to drop into Yunnan. We'll see. I may have to do the odds on that one. Pull the calculator back out. Hey. Small victories. I'd rather the other way have gone the other way around though. I'd rather have sacrificed my bomber and taken that. And his destroyer hit. So I do know I need all them guys going in there to defend there. I don't want to give the... Actually, you know what? We do want to hold on to him. I don't want to give the Russian tanks a free run though, so we're going to do this. So, what if... How many infantry do I want? Make sure he's not landing in Formosa. I've done that too many times. Yep, see? I was about to land him in Formosa. Woo! So we wanted 5 there, so I can take 1 from there. Will we build 5 infantry? I wonder if 8 infantry will be enough there. So... I'm running a calculator over here. Those 10 units, he could attack with the 4 tanks, 5 fighters, and a bomber, and he could wipe them out, but he'd be at a minus 14 profit. So that gives me 5 here, 5 here. That'll give me 8 infantry here. Let me double check that 8 infantry should be fine to stop a bombardment attack. I was going to leave the AA up there, but AA is going to be better against 6 planes than 2 planes, so... Alright, so yeah, 8 infantry in Tokyo gives me a 98% chance to live. Let's see what 7 is. Well, 7 still gives me a 92% chance, so I think I'm going to grab one more infantry for those carriers here, or for the transport. So let's see. Can we find a transport? Ugh, I hate this system. Oh, there we go. We'll just do it that way. Let's see. Why risk them? Go there. Alright. So the only thing I'm going to do again, just to not waste the time on here, I'm going to double check that I've got a good force for holding against 6 here, and I've got a good force here for a bomber, followed by potentially 2 fighter. We've got enough going in there, so we'll have 7 infantry here, which gives me a 92% chance of holding. The 5 and 5 are profitable battles if he does decide to attack those. So that's where we're going to be. Alright. So let's see, US 5. They bought artillery, 3 infantry. Put them, whoops, sorry about that. Put them over here in East USA. And they did 3 subs and a destroyer over here in West USA. And this is the weakness of doing a double 2 ocean attack here. I mean, one, he's going to have an inefficient transport because now he's got 3 transports coming back for 4. I guess technically 5 he could bring over here, although he's kind of looking like he's bringing these over that way. Units. Then over here, him building 4 ships. Well, all Japan needs to do is keep pace. So for 24 IPC, I can easily match him, and then I can overbuild him. So he's not going to make any progress in the Pacific that way. So, you know, I think that's the difficulty with the 2 ocean is you've really got to be able to make sure the Axis spends their power, their IPC in a way that it actually works, and it's very tricky. I personally, I've never even really tried to do the 2 ocean just because the thought of it, you just have to, you almost have to kind of hope Axis misplays it because they're not used to it. Meanwhile, we got a good old early France stack here with 2 fighters. I'd say early. I think maybe he thought he was catching me off guard here because I only got the 6 infantry here to come back because I played the other way. But this just means it's time to sacrifice our transport. So our transport can take a couple more over, and I can throw this fighter, this bomber, and the 2 fighters up here. So we can throw a mass of units at it, and hopefully something will stick there. And the other thing that we're going to be hoping for, or what we're going to be playing for, is a maybe a round 7 victory city win. I shouldn't say it because we know what happened in my last game, but I'm kind of leaning towards that as a goal. We shall see, I suppose. So yeah, so my France attack here, I knew I ran it, checked it before, but you know, this is giving me a with 8 infantry, 1, 2, 3 fighters, 2 bombers versus 3 infantry, 2 artillery, 1 AA. Oops, that's what I'm missing. I'm gonna say it looks too good to be true there. And 2 fighters. Over on the other screen, that gives me, say it's like a 70 or 80%, something like that. Yeah, 79% chance to conquer. So I'm willing to take it. I'm going to build 13 infantry here because we're going to be looking to try and just stack them over next turn. So even if I, worst case scenario, I don't take it, good gracious, He can only, I mean, he could put the tank and AA, two fighters, and these four guys over, and a bomber. So I'm still gonna have the stack and then my fighters. So I'm still gonna be able to wipe him again next time. So good gracious, please let me take it. It'll make trying to get this VC win a little bit easier. But all right. So buying 14 infantry and artillery. I thought about buying another transport since I'm going to sacrifice this transport and placing them here, but yeah, I just don't think it's necessary right now. I might later if the game goes on longer. If I can't pull off the VC win, then we can use it to start draining into Africa as well. But we're going to be moving our stack down this way anyways to pressure Africa. So, that said, what do we want to do combat-wise? We want to... So, he may be tempted, depends how this goes, I guess. He may be tempted to try to attack uh, Moscow and take it back with these guys. Again, even if the game goes long, he does that, then German just takes it right back and gets double points for Moscow. So it wouldn't be smart of him to do so because he won't be able to hold it. But, people have done odder things, I suppose. And I thought, why not bring my battleship over here and go ahead and just launch the battleship bombardment too? But, all this stuff over here, if I bring my battleship and aircraft carrier here, he's going to kill it easily enough. Sitting here, he still can't hit me, even without any planes on there, because his fleet's down here. So, maybe I can still be of nuisance with them later on as we get into more fleet issues. So I'm gonna leave him. Maybe it'll be useful. Got no pressing need for them right now, but who knows? They could be useful. I think that's all my attacks, my two big attacks. I know that's odd, but I need those bombers for attacking India next turn probably. So 2 hits, nice. Nice. There's some decent dice rolling for me. Oh, he took his AA. Second to last. Yikes. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Don't take the bombers. There we go. Nice. Yeah, so I'm just thinking about trying to be able to stack Corellia in case he builds, a transport in foregrounds or something. But also be able to come back to Berlin if need it. Extra Berlin stacking. I didn't pull out the calculators, so maybe I should on this, but we didn't, so oh well. There we go. All right, come back in here to J6. So UK6, he bought 4 tanks, 3 infantry and artillery. He put 3 of the tanks in India, 1 down here in South Africa, 3 infantry and artillery up here. So he is going to have 2 fully loaded transports next time. So we're going to have to see if we can't protect Karelia, France, and Germany, Berlin all at the same time. Um, he did an interesting move here. My first thought was, well, let's just wipe these guys out, which I'm actually probably not going to, which may or may come back to haunt me, may or may not come back to haunt me. But so what I'm looking at is I'm trying to get the round 7 victory city win. What he did is he used his 3 transports to move those 3 guys in the tanks to attack, which allowed him to bring 3 bombardments, which I hadn't really taken into my consideration was the 3 bombardments. And then he attacked here and retreated back for the tanks and all the air. So he ended up taking out 10 of my infantry there. So this right now, it leaves me like a 60% chance to take India next turn. So I want to improve those odds, and so I'm just going to kind of go all in, I guess, in a way. So if I can reduce those numbers by 1 or 2, then that'll be good for me. So if I get 2 hits by Japan on them, it'll take me up to an 86% chance of taking India next turn. So, 3 hits and I'm probably pretty golden in the 90% pluses. So the second part of that is after Germany takes them, we don't want the UK in turn order to come back and take it. So what could he attack me with? He could attack with the 1 artillery. He is going right after Germany, and then potentially Japan has a turn right afterwards, which will kind of do some prepping for just in case, so that there's only a limited amount of sources we have left. So what do we do to prevent him from transporting over? Well, what if we stack Z-Zone 35? What if we just go ahead and bring both our battleships for bombardments, bring our carriers, land. These 4 fighters have to land up in Moscow, but we do have the other 2 fighters any that don't get shot down. And, we got a sub we could bring in here. So he's got these 3 and the fighter that could hit me. So 3 plus a battleship. But if I have 2 battleships and 3 carriers and a sub and a destroyer, I'll be fine. So I'm going to just block him from getting in there that way. And meanwhile, I can, if I really want to close down the Suez so he doesn't sneak through there. Actually, I probably should do that because, again, he could sneak through there and hit Italy and ruin my VC snipe now that I think about it. So we need to make sure we'd use that Japan infantry just to take there so that the Suez is closed. Otherwise, we have to divert one of our infantry from the Germans, and we just want to have max attack there. So, meanwhile, we got the pesky Americans up here, so we got to deal with these guys. He does have a destroyer sitting in 64 that can hit either 1 through 63, or he can go through 58 to hit 60. So if I want to just drop subs, I'll need to put a destroyer block in 63, and I can drop subs in here. And I think that's what I'm going to end up doing, is dropping some subs in there. And the more I think about it, let's see, he's now got 2 battleships, I just remembered, so he's got an extra bombardment there. We may actually want to change, put a couple extra men in there. So he just has the 2 infantry, 2 fighters, 2 bombardments. We're going to take out the cruiser. Probably extra, but he's going to be going everything he can to try to break things up. So let's just be extra safe and precautious. So at this point, I'm not worrying about the islands. I've already pretty much picked all the guys off the islands that I can take. So we're just going to use as many guys as we can to take off a couple of these guys' lives, hopefully. I was going to use this guy too, but as we just discussed, we really need him to go that way, unfortunately. And we need to get all these guys into Moscow. Nope. Oh yeah, up here. Here we go. So we need 1 of our destroyers to come here. Have 3 subs versus the cruiser. We'll have a destroyer and 2 subs versus 2 subs. You can send as 1 destroyer to hit my sub. Not a big kill any remaining subs. Not a big deal. It'd been nice if I could use air, but I really just want to go ahead and do this attack over here. The last destroyer will go up to 63 in the non-combat move. Plausible? Really? I believe you are correct about that. Like I said, I'm just hoping to get 2 hits out of that. Three hits would be great. 3 hits takes me into 90%. Here's 1. All right. Happy the air missed. There's 2. There's 3. Good gracious. Ooh, 9 hits. Wow. That's everybody, right? Yep, that's everybody. Well, I was hoping to not give up 9 hits. Hey. That should have been what, like, yeah, I guess maybe. That's about not too far off. Who said I learned my lesson about not trying to go for the VC snipe and throw everything in. Alright, let's see. I evidently did not learn my lesson yet. Seriously. Seriously, come on. Oh, his sub couldn't hit 3 in a row. Well, that's nice that he lives there. And if I put my destroyer there, that takes bombardments out, so I can put my 2 infantry on the mainland, actually, I think. Come on. Let's end this. There we go. Oh, shoot. I meant to walk into there. Oy. That was my backup plan. I forgot about walking into Burma. Who really needed a backup plan? We're all in. Okay, so I can't send my... Do I put my transports there to see if he would not send suicide his fighters? Hopefully these guys will be gone. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. We're gonna put him there. At least, you know. Again, this is all backup. I mean, he's got to get through the 2 battleships. Let's see, 3 carriers and a sub by using 2 cruisers, a battleship, and a fighter. And I mean, he's only got a 3% chance of doing that. So this should be redundant pulling him over. So Russia moves here. If I went here, then I'd be stuck. So Russia moves here. I can kind of sneak in here, put 1 in here, and then sneak them into that way because we gotta be retreating back that direction. Oh, for that matter, why leave 2 there? They'll be with the transport regardless, or they won't be with the transport. The transport's dead. I hate wasting these artilleries this way, but I just don't really want to let them blitz right on through here. I'm going to keep these guys up here as they are, and we're going to wrap it up there. All right, so here we go. Go back to the U.S. turn. They bought 2 artillery, 2 infantry, transport bomber, submarine, put transport submarine and bomber over here in the West USA. Again, building one sub, even with Japan starting to crumble, I can easily match that and be bringing these guys back. So again, U.S. is really not a threat with what he's doing there. And then he put his 2 and 2 here. At least he's going to have a matching set to his 2 transports coming back. Yeah, so he attacked France, obviously. Oh, I didn't even look at this. What was that? 63. Oh, he took out the destroyer block up here. Okay, makes sense. That's a perfectly logical attack. Kind of surprised he didn't take out the destroyer with the sub and fighters, but I guess they're a sub. But yeah, or do the sub and sub instead of using his destroyer there, because I guess he does want a destroyer block. Possibly me doing a 6 sub attack. I don't know. Not really that big a deal. This is not a pressing point of any real concern. Russia, maybe we can just see what they did. So they did not choose attack back in Moscow, which is smart because whatever he had left, I'd be able to take back and get double income. So he's pressing Japan, which again is smart. So not too concerned. Into a KJF endgame, the more red that they take this after Moscow falls, that means until we get to the initially owned Japan provinces, Germany can follow right behind them and turn them blue, so that you got more German income, which is better to have one power have primary income and not have split stacks. Not really that. Again, I'm feeling pretty confident at this point in this game. I'm not super concerned about it one way or the other, but it is something. If this game goes beyond round 7, I need to prepare to counter this with some Japan and minimize my losses. And then, of course, maximize Germany's input. So here we are, Germany's turn. I had a lot of money to spend because of taking Moscow. But here we are. I'm looking for closing it out here in 7. We're going for the VC 7 win. So we're at 7 of 9. Taking France and India will make it 9 of 9. And then I need to hold on to. So nothing can threaten. The U.S. cannot reach over here into Shanghai or Philippines. Those are safe. So it's only Tokyo that he's just got the 1 transport, 2 fighters, 2 battleships that I got to defend against. So that shouldn't be an issue. Italy is no longer threatened because I intentionally made that play last turn to close off the Suez. That was important. Or I'd have to use one of my Germans this turn to do it. So Italy is safe because he's got no one that can come over there. Safe. Karelia, as long as I have 8 units there at the end of the turn, they will then have 86, 87, 88% chance of survival versus the British coming. Berlin will be perfectly safe. And then France is going to be one. If I can take it with 10 infantry and then moving my AA in there, has an 85, 88, something like that % chance of survival to the UK-US double attack. UK here, Germany with using just 1 bomber has like an 80 something % chance of winning and taking. And this is probably the most questionable. I need to win, and ideally just win it with Germany. If I don't win it with Germany, I do have the possibility of Japan taking it still in round 7, and US wouldn't be able to do anything, so all I have to do is just take it. So that's why we put this transport over here that could potentially come, because hopefully Germany will get at least far enough to kill the bomber, and the transport will live to bring 2. If not, if he's got bomber last and he comes back and he kills the transport, I can still go possibly 1, grab the guy, come back, but of course he also will probably be bringing these guys, if I was him, in here, which would make that not possible. So hopefully Germany takes it, and that's just said and done. If we do take with Germany, then he has to attack my fleet, which I don't think he has very good odds there. And then he'll have just the one artillery to attack with, um, and cruiser, or battleship, excuse me, an artillery battleship will be all that he has left. So hopefully Germany can win it and just crank it out. And that's what we're looking at. So purchases, I am still going to prepare for the possibility of him, you know, getting good dice. And, you know, I'm going to go ahead and repair Karelia this turn since I had the extra money. And I'm just going to start my late game where I start buying some bombers for Germany. We got 2 on the board now. I'll get a 3rd one on here. Eventually we'll get enough that if this does go into late game, we can make him have to shift his boats around all over the place to cover everything. And then, of course, buying a bunch of ground units. So let's see if our VC attempt this game goes better than the last game went. And if it looks like I'm going to be able to take, I will sacrifice the bomber and fighter as needed to take. Oh, I guess I should be thinking about what I want to do up here too. I didn't even think about these guys. So I actually kind of think I'm going to let my Japan units take Vologda because that's a possible inland factory spot, although he left this open too. I don't know. We'll probably just crush them. Let's just kill guys that we can kill. So I do want to try to take out the tank and still have my planes live, so we're going to do a 12 infantry attack there. And then, you know, in doing this, I really do want to make sure I hit that tank, so I'm taking best odds. I did my running of the odds. It still gives me pretty darn good odds to have 10 infantry live up here, so we'll be happy with that. Might be being a little wasteful. He could come back and counterattack, but I think he wants to bring these guys this way anyways, so we'll be a little wasteful for a little wasteful. I'm not too worried. They're not coming back. I got plenty of income. And I'm feeling okay, so here we go. Again, I got sloppy last game, like kind of like that, not just really thinking it through, and paid for it later. Alright, here we go. Let's get right down to the good stuff. So, let's see here. This is... We should get, what, about 7 to 8 hits for me, about 6 hits for him. Ah, that's not a good way to start. Two, okay, 4, 5, great. We're already well below. No, 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 no. Don't take the bomber. Come on, tanks. Oh, tanks, you're killing me. Alright. Ah, dang it. Those tanks are worthless anyways. It's a good thing I had high odds. It's a darn good thing I started with really good odds. Because this is definitely going lower than expected, but... and the bomber gets a shot in. So what, I have 4 tanks that live? Let's see. I'm just curious. It's not too bad over in the end, I guess. You know, I'm not fretting if I don't get the territory. I just care about hitting them. There we go. I'll be happy to take it, though. Alright. I want 10 infantry living, at least. There we go, good. Alright, good deal. Alright, I'm feeling pretty good now. Hey. 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 Alright, Japan can finish him. Alright. So, bomber can't do anything up here. We just got the 1 cruiser, right? 1 cruiser, 1 fighter, 3-1. Just not even mess with that. Let's just put him right back here. Interesting. Let's bring him on up here. There'll be extra defense, plus if the game does go on, we got some destroyer killers. I'm gonna bring these guys down just in case he does have some sort of miracle there. We're just gonna leave these guys, increase my chances of holding everything. Battleship carrier really don't have anything they need to do. Alright. Just in case he gets lucky. There we go. that does it. I think we should be sitting good for the VC win here. All right, so that's game. Player forfeited. Kind of an odd little thing. I think he realized it too late because he bought himself another battleship and a fighter and an infantry, and then he attacked Transjordan instead of making any attempt at India at all, and then attacked Northwest Europe. And I think that must have been after his combat move when he realized that at 9 of 9 and he needed to take either France or Tokyo and realized I could probably block Tokyo off altogether, which I could. So he resigned. So that's the end of this game. I'm going to get another one fired up. Not sure if I'm going to record this one yet. I know the duos is supposed to be coming around the corner. So we shall see. Until the next game.